Greetings everyone, my name is Calvin, and recently I've been working on creating a new franchise called the Omniscient Verse. Currently I'm in the making of writing the main story known as Eclectic Ascension. This is the audiobook for Eclectic Ascension. There are more stories to come, but for now this is Chapter 1, Episode 5. Enjoy.
Indeed, even if you wanted to hide the recipe, I could simply take us to the memory where you learned to make it.
Edmin smiles. Quite the persistent one, aren't you? The judge, now finished with his tea, places his cup on the table and says,
Speaking of persistence, we should continue.
He disappears and the scene continues to play out. The fireplace is snapping and crackling. Araya looks over at Edmin.
So, will you come? Like I said before, it won't be the same without you.
Edmin, though hesitant, agrees, and the scene slowly pans out of the window of the modest home. The sun lowers, transitioning the scene into night. The view shifts into the other side of Sentia, where the party is now being hosted at Araya's house. This large two-story house with beige walls and an oxblood red roof has a medium-sized wine cellar underneath and a large stable where the horses enjoy a bit of luxury. People from all ages and various locations come and go from the house, indulging in wine, laughter, and sharing conversation. Edmin and Araya, however, can be found in the kitchen on the first floor of the house, with Araya introducing Edmin to her friends. So you're the miscreant who went out into the city disturbing the peace with Araya, one of Orion's friends exclaims, chuckling at his comment. Edmin turns his head to look at Araya and says, If anything, she was the miscreant, I was the reasonable one. Araya shrugs and gives Edmin a look of delighted shock before saying,
Whose idea was it to sneak into the tavern, swap the strongest ale with watered-down brew, and watch as the patrons boasted about their tolerance while surprisingly getting sober?
Edmin laughs. Mine, but before Edmin could finish his sentence, Araya interrupts.
And whose idea was it to smear honey on a noble's saddle just before they set out, just so we could watch them be harassed by bees and flies the entire journey?
Everyone laughs, and Edmin brings the attention back to Araya. Fair enough, both ideas were mine, but those were harmless pranks. Whose idea was it to tie a long rope to the village church bell and hide behind a wall, ringing it at odd hours, making the village think that the spirits were restless? Edmin looks at Araya with a slight smirk and says, Whose idea was it to drop harmless herbs into the village well, temporarily dyeing the water a strange color and convincing everyone that the local witch had cursed the water supply? One of Araya's friends asks, Did you guys really do all that stuff? Edmin and Araya exchange a nostalgic smile and nod their heads yes. As Edmin takes a final sip of his drink, he closes his eyes. When he finishes, he opens them and realizes that he is no longer in the memory with Araya, but is now back in purgatory with the judge standing before him. Confused, Edmin asks, What happened? The judge takes a step forward and raises his hands.
I got what I needed from the memory. Time to move on to the next.
Edmin asks the judge, So what, we're just going to go from memory to memory? And how many of them are we going to go through before we come to a conclusion? The judge pauses for a moment before responding.
We are looking at core memories that define how you handle situations. For example, this was an uncomfortable situation for you, as you are an introvert, yet you stepped out of your comfort zone to be there for a friend. That is a sign of courage.
Edmin replies, I take it you're looking to see if I hold all the right virtues. The judge turns his head to look at Edmin.
I'm looking to see if you had any at all.
Edmin replies, That could either work in my favor or... Before Edmin could finish his sentence, the judge turns and starts walking away, saying,
We should continue.
Thank you for listening. I hope you've enjoyed today's story. And if you're liking the story so far, please feel free to like and subscribe. And if you're interested in keeping up with the Omniscient Verse, hit the notification bell so that you don't miss an episode. Until next we meet, stay safe and farewell.